Seahawks, 3.5-point favorites on the road. 3 points, 3.5 on the road at Arizona. I don't trust them. I just don't trust them.
You trust Arizona?
No, I don't trust either of them. So I don't want to bet this game.
Well, we got to pick a side. We can't be those guys. But yeah, man, I'm on
Why?
Seahawks. 100%. The Cardinals could show up here and they could actually play a decent game. But Russell Wilson off a bye week, facing a team that's just won 2 straight on the road. More than happy to take the Seahawks here. I'd take this number up to 5 or 6. So I'm with the public on this one. I'm going to be taking the Seahawks.
Interesting. Very interesting. How much of this is because, do you think, is impacted by the Cardinals beating up on the Cowboys so badly?
Not much. I think it's more that like you're probably right on with the numbers are saying the way the Seahawks are playing, it just isn't sustainable. That all the holes on their team is eventually going to come to a head. And I think they opened this line to 3 to kind of scare off a lot of sharp money, or maybe making people come in on Arizona because saying, oh, why is this number 3? That's a weird number to open with. But I think this is just a bad number. And it's one of those where the book's trying to trick people and they're trying to scare people off the scent of the Seahawks. And come Sunday, this is going to be one of the biggest liability games. That's my only pause with it, that everyone's going to come in on the Seahawks. That's the public. They're going to be taking this number. The only people really on the Cardinals come Sunday are going to be sharps. But for me, looking at this, I think they're still undervaluing Russell Wilson. And coming off the bye week, they might come out sleepwalking maybe for the first half. Like, who knows with the Seahawks. But I just think once they turn it on, once they just start laying into the Cardinals aren't going to be able to come back. We're going to get a couple Murray turnovers, and I think this will just snowball. So I do like this number a lot for the Seahawks.
What do you have it rated at?
I had it at 6. So that's what I mean. I would take it up to 5.5, up to 6. And once it crosses 6.5, 7, the value is going to shift to the Cardinals. So, like, at that point, if by some crazy reason it gets all the way up to that number, I would take the Cardinals. But I'm happy taking the Seahawks.
You have it at 6. Like, what am I supposed to do with that kind of information? I'm going to be the guy who goes from, like, not even wanting to talk about a game to the guy who puts, like, his entire bankroll on the game because you're telling me there's a 2.5-point delta right now between your number and what the bookmakers are showing.
It's like the Browns and the Steelers last week, buddy. You were like, I don't even want to touch this game. And you said, come Sunday, we're probably going to have the Browns. And back when I said, no, come Sunday, we're definitely going to have the Steelers. And thank God you came around by the end of the week and you're like, you know what, you're so right. This is an easy play with the Steelers. So this is one of those, maybe you'll come around on later in the week. But I think it's another one of those where they're trying to give you the hook in a divisional game saying this should be a close-fought game with the Cardinals. But I just like the Seahawks here.
We haven't gotten to your game yet, and we've only got a handful. We've got 5 games left, including the Chiefs on the road at the Broncos. Chiefs is 9-point favorites on the road. Too much against this defense. Too much for a Chiefs team that plays inconsistently against division opponents. And, well, that's it. Too much.
Yeah. Playing with fire, though, so I wouldn't even touch it because we're back in a Denver team who they're their first team since 2001 to go to New England and have the QB throw 2 interceptions and win the game. So are the Broncos just hitting teams in the right situations and catching teams in the right spots to be covering so much and getting these wins? It's hard to say. And, like, I'm with you. Like, this could be an easy spot to take the Broncos because that's so many points in a divisional game, especially while they're at home. But in my mind, it's tough for me to really think the Broncos can keep up with the Chiefs, and especially the Chiefs team looked like they were trying against the Bills. That was such a weird game because of the rain and just the way they were playing that I'm with you. I'm going to be back in the Broncos here, but in the contest, I don't want to put either of these guys in. So I'm just going to leave it out.
All right. 4 games left. 49ers, Patriots. 49ers, 2.5-point dogs on the road at New England. I feel like I'm being baited here because the Patriots are clearly not the same team with Cam Newton playing quarterback. And he hasn't been a guy who, even when they've been winning, was, was the reason they were winning.
Right.
And the Niners, like, to me, I was all over him this past week against your advice. Went so far as to go so far from your advice that I actually just bet them to win and cashed. But I still like the Niners as dogs on the road, like in this spot.
Why
I
though?
just think that
It's like why? Because they won on Sunday night and the Patriots look so bad. Chad, you're better than this. Come on,
no,
man.
you're right, and
You know what to do
it
here.
is no. You're telling me I got to back the Patriots here?
Yeah, like the. I mean, I get it. It's all a new year. Belichick. We know the stats before Brady got to him. He wasn't that great of a coach. Apparently, he lost a lot of games before he had Tom Brady under center. But how am I going to bet on the Patriots going 0-3 and you're backing Jimmy Garoppolo, who he might have had like 4 passes that were over 5 yards. Everything he was doing were quick dump offs to the sideline, quick passes, because that ankle isn't right. They kept showing it a bunch of times. It's all taped up. So I'm going to back the Patriots. They have no more COVID stoppage of practices. They can get a week in together. They just look like a team that was rusty, especially Cam. He looked like he hadn't played in a month. So I like the Patriots here, and I especially like that the early money came in on San Fran and moved this line down below 3. I get what you're saying. They're trapping us in here. But I think Vegas is like everyone else, so they're just unsure. They don't really trust this Patriots team because they're a different team right now. But I'm going to trust New England, and I'm going to trust that this cross-country trip for San Fran after a big win on primetime game is going to affect them. So I like this number a lot. I'm going to take the Patriots.
Line opened Patriots -5.5. It is now at 2.5. So clearly it's been bet down. The money, 58% of the money. So that's usually professional indication of professional support is on San Francisco right now. So, all right, then I'm gonna put them on our list. Right now we got 6 teams on our list that we're going to be choosing from, with at least one have some injury concerns. So
Yeah, and
we
like
got
you
3
just
games
said,
left.
1 week is it worth 3 points of line movement? So that's like one of
No,
those where it's like exactly. So it's even if we lose this New England bet, we're getting the best of a number, and this is the smart play this week.
you're right. You're right, Simon. See what you do? Like I would have skipped it, and now you're making me reimagine how I make decisions. And it's not just about betting; it's about everyday life.
There you go.
Uh, oh my God, is this going to be the bet? Am I going to have to bet on the Jags against the Chargers? The Jags as 7.5-point underdogs on the road. Is that what you're telling me I'm going to have to do?
No, don't you worry. It's coming. I'm saving the best for last, buddy. I don't want to do it. Like, of course, we should take the Jaguars here. This is a good number going against a rookie quarterback. A rookie quarterback that makes 1 or 2 dumb plays a game. But the fact that the Chargers are coming off a bye and the Jaguars, they've been down. They're some of their best defenders the last 2 weeks. And we've really seen how they just can't stop anyone, especially if they don't have Josh Allen as a pass rusher. So I'm cool with taking the Chargers here. I know it's a bad number. That's -7.5, and technically the value would be on the Jags, but I think they're just trying to get money on the Jags right now because they know so many teasers and different things we tied to the Chargers. But I don't mind taking that number for the Chargers.
All right. Well, we're not putting in the contest.
Nah.
No way. All right. We got 2 games left, and we haven't done a pick, so it's got to be either the Bucks at like -3 on the road against the Raiders, or the Bears who are 5.5-point dogs on the road on Monday Night Football against the Rams. Well, let's go to the Bucks first. Bucks, big win. Oh my God, this is going to be it. You're going to tell me to bet the Raiders in Vegas, coming off a huge home win over the undefeated Packers for Tom Brady. That's what you're going to tell me to do.
Situationally, I'm with you. It's probably the right move, but this isn't the bet of the week. This is one of those where I really don't. It's tough to pick a side because I could see it end up being a shootout. I know we talked about last week how good the Bucks defense is, but the way the Raiders play, it's hard for what Tampa does well to stifle what the Raiders do, and they're just quick hitters with just a lot of speed. And my mentality coming to this game is I don't like either side because I just see it being a shootout. Like, this is a Sunday night shootout, it feels like. And if you're going to bet this game, it's hard not to take the Bucks here because it's easier for me. It's easier trusting Brady here than it is to trust Derek Carr in a shootout game. But I'm going to leave this one out. I'm not going to put this in the competition.
Oh, I'm so glad. Can I convince you to take the Raiders 100% all your bankroll? I'm kidding. I have no interest in that. Let's talk about the bet of the week. The Bears are visiting the Los Angeles Rams. They are 5.5-point dogs. Monday Night Football, my favorite team in prime time. That's always a little bit disconcerting. Tell me what you're thinking here, Simon.
And you know the meme with Paul Rudd, it's him like eating the wings, and you say, "Who would have saw us sitting here? Who would have thought? Who'd have thought?" You know,
Yeah, right.
the Bears, man, 5-1, the top of the division. I don't know how many people are calling that in May, but you're listening to people that talked about the value of the Bears and that we saw this kind of season coming from them. So
That's what I'm talking about. You are my Matthew McConaughey to my Woody Harrelson. All right. For those who don't know, follow Simon Hunter on Twitter. There was a beautiful picture of McConaughey and Harrelson together swimming, and Simon's like, "This is me and Chad."
just pure bliss, man. Time is a flat circle.
Two guys who have just figured out how to live in every single way.
And now that I warmed up all you Bear fans, I'm sorry to say this, but this is easy pick of the Rams. Easy play of the week on the Rams.
Yeah, you're probably right.
All the public coming in on the Bears after a big road win. People are starting to believe. The Rams played horribly against San Fran, and it's just an easy game where the Bears, they're going to win a lot of games, and they're a great team. But they're going to have weeks like this where it's just going to catch up to them. And, I mean, how many wins straight are they on right now? They have 4 straight wins?
Yeah.
And
No. They've won 5, but they lost to the Colts 3 weeks ago, so they have 2 straight wins.
Okay, right. So,
They
and
lost
just
to the
like
Colts, then they beat the Bucs, then they beat the Panthers.
just looking at it, it's really tough to win 2 road games in a row, let alone 2 ones that you're flying down North Carolina, now you're flying back, and now you're flying away out to the West Coast. So I think just situationally, the Bears defense, they're going to have a letdown game, especially indoor on this turf field. I think the speed's going to be too much for them to handle with the Rams. And I like the Rams here in a bounce-back spot. And a lot of people are going to be tying a lot of money into the Bears on this game, especially in teasers, because you can get this number above 10 put in a teaser. I like the Rams here. I like them big.
Wow, you like them big. All right.
I'm sorry, Chad. I'm so sorry.
I don't mind the emotional hedge. This is a good opportunity for me. So I'm all for it. So here, Simon, let me recap for people right now. We want to go 5-0 this week. Right now, the teams, and so just so everyone knows, we will choose from these teams on Sunday morning. Follow Simon Hunter in the Action Network app. Reminder, download the app. It's free. Simon Hunter in the Action Network app. That's where you can get like our final decisions. But these are the teams that we're thinking about as of Tuesday, and then we will make these decisions on Sunday morning. Simon will text me. I will drop everything, and I will immediately respond. And then I will go on to the Action Network Live show at Action Network HQ, growing every week. Bills minus 13.5. We're going to keep an eye on that line over the Jets. We look at the Panthers plus 7.5. Visiting, who are they playing? Green Bay? Was that it?
The Saints.
The Saints. Panthers 7.5 against the Saints. Browns, this one makes me sick to my stomach. Browns minus 3.5 on the road against the Bengals. If we find out what's happening with Baker, we got to sort of understand that. This one, I didn't want to do at all. Came around. Steelers minus 2 against the Titans on the road. Also, didn't even want to talk about this game, but now we are putting our entire bankroll on it. Seahawks minus 3.5 on the road against Arizona. Pats, this game opened at Pats minus 5.5. It is now 2.5, playing against the 49ers in Foxborough. We like that game. And then Rams minus 5.5 against the Bears. And that's our Bet Your Balls pick of the week. Sounds about right, doesn't it?
Sounds about right. Sounds like a lot of favorites. Usually we're big dog guys, but it looks like this week we're liking the value in the favorites. So
we've got
burn us.
We've got one favorite. We've got one dog here with the Panthers, and you mentioned teasers. By the way, we do have some cool opportunities for teasers. We've got like if we want to do a 6 point teaser and get through key numbers. I am now thinking about key numbers as 8. Uh, so Seahawks -3.5. You can tease it up to 9.5. Pats -2.5. Tease it up to 8.5. Rams you mentioned. You can tease that. You can tease that through 7, 8, and 10.